So, guys, let me bring my visitor. I'm so excited. Let me bring her up. So, her name is Fiona. Let's hear who she is, guys. She's in STEM. Let's see her. Hi, Fiona. Oh my God.
Hey girl!
I'm so excited.
How
I'm
are
so
you, Kristen?
Oh my God.
Oh my
I was
gosh,
like, I'm gonna wait for her. I'll wait for her. It doesn't matter how it takes.
I am freaking out right now. Like I have 1,000 devices on my table. I was trying to log in and things were just going wrong and I'm like, oh my god, this is so embarrassing.
No,
But I'm here
girl,
finally.
I know. You're good. Though I go through that. Ask Vane. Is Vane?
Mhm.
Yeah, Vane. She's one of the engineers. She do come here. We do have sometimes echo issues. I'm freaking out, and everybody is watching. I've got like so many people on YouTube. I'm like, guys, I can't fix this. And then I'm like, I'm an engineer and I can't fix this.
I know. I think that's the most frustrating thing because I tried logging in another laptop and it says
Yes.
things are not being supported. I'm like, what does that even mean? I tried logging in my phone and it's on mute. It doesn't have a video. I'm like, so what am I even doing?
Yes.
But
But
we always find a way at the end of
we,
the day.
we always find a way. We fight until we get there. Thank you so much,
Definitely.
Fiona, for coming. Mind you, you look so great.
Thank you. You look amazing yourself.
Yes, yes. Sister,
I was just
uplifting
out
sister.
for lunch with a friend because like the
Yes.
weather is really nice in Bristol. It's sunny and we were like, oh, let's just go, have a walk and then come back because
Yes.
you rarely see the sun. So the sun is
Wow.
like a good thing. So you really need to
Wow.
look good for the sun.
Oh, yes, definitely. Yes, yes. No, thank you
Yes.
so much for coming. I'm so excited. So let's dive into it. Where are
Mhm.
you, Fiona Mukondwa, and what are you doing?
Okay, straight to the point.
Yes, straight away.
Straight to business.
Let's face it.
Okay, so hi guys, hi girls and guys in STEM.
Yes,
My name is Fionah Mukondwa. I am Zimbabwean, but I'm currently based in Bristol. I'm a civil engineer. I have a BSc in civil engineering. I have a master in engineering, in civil engineering as well, but I majored in construction engineering and management. And then I have an MSc in environmental sustainability. So, okay, currently I'm based in Bristol.
where is
I'm
Bristol?
Bristol is in the UK. It's in
Okay.
the southwest of UK
Wow.
of,
Yes,
of, of,
yes,
of the United Kingdom. Yeah. Yeah, it's close to London.
yes.
Yeah, I'm looking for the cities everyone knows. So yeah. So yeah. So
Wow.
I'm currently working on the Hinkley Point C project, which is one of the largest construction projects in Europe at the moment. It's a
Yes,
construction of a nuclear power plant, which is
yes,
really exciting.
yes.
So I am part of the design team. So yeah.
Oh my God, she's in STEM, guys. I'm so excited. And just listen to what she's talking about, guys, girls out there. So, this is really interesting. So, Fiona, thank you so much for that introduction. Excellent. And I love your braids. We have
Oh,
braids.
thank you, girl. I
We
actually
are
did this
engineers with
myself.
braids, guys. Hello.
Yes, embrace your natural hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. So, Fiona, I'll take you when you were 5.
Mm-hmm.
I take my visitors when they were 5 to share with me what's going on there. Are you in Zimbabwe? Where are you? And what's going on? Are your parents talking about STEM, energy, sustainability? So I want to know, how did you become who you are right now? What happened when you are that young? What's going on? Are you hearing people around you talking about STEM, or your parents or friends or neighbors? What's going on?
Okay, so yeah, that's an interesting question. Taking you back to 5-year-old me.
Yes.
Funny story, I actually wanted to be a movie director when I was like a little girl because I used to like how, the movie directors just sit in their chairs and then yell, cut! when things are not going on, we're like,
Yes.
no, cut and start again.
Yes.
So, funny thing is, that's what I'm kind of doing now, but I'm not directing movies. When you're on site and people are placing or pouring concrete, you'll be like, no, stop,
So
that's
not like
not
that. Yes.
great, or whatever. But when I grew up, I never really heard about STEM, to be honest. Like, no, but I
Mm-hmm.
have an uncle who's like a land surveyor.
Okay.
So, my uncle would drive like, the big construction cars, the 4x4s,
Yes.
and you'd go places,
Yes.
you wouldn't be like in one place for like a long time. So I really used to find that interesting. Like,
Yes.
I want a job where I can
Like
travel,
that. Yes.
yeah. So I started appreciating what he does for a living, better, because they're the ones who prepare the land before anything is built, be it a road or a bridge or residential stands. So I
Mm-hmm.
was like, that's kind of interesting, building stuff into life, and when I was applying so that I had that at the back of my mind. Like, I want
Yes.
to do something like that. But unfortunately, I didn't have, sufficient career guidance then. So when I was applying for places at uni, it was actually, I chose civil engineering by default, because I was like, is the closest thing I have to
I
this.
know.
I
Yes.
can't go electrical because it's electricity. I can't go mechanical because it's, mechanics and bolts and stuff. I can't go mining. So I was like, okay, let's try civil and see how it works out.
How
And
it
it has
goes.
worked out great. No offense to the other engineers, but yeah, it has worked out great.
Wow, wow. That's so interesting. So what particularly do you do? What kind of projects do you work on mostly? Because you've combined it with you said nuclear?
Sustainability. Yes.
Yes. How does that
So
work? Civil engineering. Wow, that's really smart. I'm trying to understand.
Well, I was actually listening to the previous speaker, Gosa, is it? That was,
Yes. Yes.
yes. So I actually wanted, to reinforce stuff that he was saying. Like,
Yes.
I'm a civil engineer, right? And civil engineering is broad. It's so broad.
Wow.
You can be like in water, like wastewater or even potable water, the water that we supply people to drink. You can be in transport, you can build bridges, railroads, or you can be like in the residential commercial sector where you build your
Yes.
skyscrapers and your fancy upside down buildings and stuff like that.
Yes.
But somehow I found myself working in the power sector.
Ah.
So when I was still in Zimbabwe,
Mhm.
my early career, I actually started as a graduate maintenance engineer at Zimbabwe's largest coal-fired power station. So
Yes.
it mainly focused on making sure that the infrastructure is in good condition to supply electricity,
Yes.
because that power plant was really critical to the nation as a whole. So nothing could go wrong. So as civil engineers, we were responsible to ensure that the infrastructure, the turbine house, the boiler house are in perfect condition, to make
Yes.
sure that electricity goes to where it's supposed to go. So just reinforcing on what Mkoso was saying, that in as much as it was like a power station, there were also, electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, power systems engineers. But as civil engineers, we also played a critical role to ensure, the distribution and supply of electricity. And
Yes.
then after that, I then joined within the same company. That's where they started building like another coal-fired power station. So I was involved in the design and the construction of that coal-fired power station. And
Yes.
then I got an opportunity to come to the UK. That's where I studied environmental sustainability. And then after I graduated, I started working for the Hinkley Point C, the nuclear new build power station that's currently under construction. So my journey has been quite interesting because it forced me to, rather challenged me to
Yes.
read, to get involved in other sectors of electricity.
Yes.
Because you're a civil engineer at an electricity generating facility, you need
Yes.
to understand the basics of how electricity is produced and what needs to be right and what does not need to be right. You get it?
Yes.
So I got to familiarize myself with some electrical elements that some of my peers don't even know because they are not in the power sector, which
Correct.
is, you
Yes.
know, an advantage for me because it's made me easier to adapt to this new project I'm doing, the nuclear power plant. You
Yes.
know, it's all about sustainability these days, and it's no secret that nuclear power is sustainable power source, considering that not all areas can be turned into, you know, hydropower stations or wind power stations, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, or solar.
Wow.
So yeah.
Guys, this lady has got so much knowledge about her work, as you can see. So, can you see the comment there? Hi, ladies Mukondwa, you have a rich CV, so
Oh my
inspiring.
gosh, thank you so much, Barbara. That made me feel so good.
So special. Yes. Wow. That's so interesting. Guys, she's in STEM. She's here. You see how she's talking, her language is technical. And we always think like only men can talk like the way she's talking, but here she is talking, addressing, talking to us in technical way, but in simpler term, and she's breaking them. She's very good at articulating. She's also breaking it very good for us to understand. Thank you, Fiona, for that. We really do appreciate. So my viewers really do appreciate that as well. Wow. So now, wow, that was interesting because I took you back when you were 5 years. That's so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So finally, you get into high school and you were still focused in terms of trying to pursue science. Can you talk about what's happening in high school in your life at that time?
Okay, so basically in high school, I think one of the things that made high school bearable is the support system I had, particularly the friends I had in high school,
Yes,
because I'm actually friends with like the girls that I used to hang around with in high school because we were all like in the sciences class. So we
yes,
just made a pact like, girls, we need to stick together because we're
yes,
in this together. So it
yes.
was like a sisterhood.
Like,
So one of my close friends from high school is actually a doctor, and then the other one is also an electrical engineer. So what made high school fun was we made a pact to stick together. Like, guys, we need to
yes,
help each other through.
yes,
And yeah, you know, that's what made high school fun because I knew that I had my sisters. My support system was great. You know, sometimes would have fights with boys like who's more intelligent than the other, you know, stupid things 15-year-olds do, but you know,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, wow, that's so interesting. I really, really love that. That was fun. And you know what? It's true. Even when I was here in United States, because I went here to school here in United States, and
Hmm.
I'm naturally was born raised in Zambia, neighbor
Hmm.
with you. So
Yes, our Zambian cousins.
yes. So when I was here, it was so hard to see someone like in my skin,
Hmm.
and very few women in science and technology. It was so fierce. And if you see someone like like my skin, you wanna partner with them and be friend with them. So I saw
Definitely.
these girls that I was seated in front because I always like to sit in front. I was sitting in front, and then I saw her at the back. I'm like, I saw something like this at the back. I looked. She was
You
seated
saw
there.
you saw Melanin at the
Yeah,
back.
I saw Melanie, and I was like, that's I. So I looked back, and it's a girl. I said, I have to speak to her. Guess what? She's a very good friend of mine. She also
Ooh.
comes on this channel. She supports Girls for STEM. It's interesting. So it's true. We really, really need to understand that to team up, especially with women. And I
Hmm.
always talk about this on this platform, that we need to pull the rope of someone who's coming up. And also, those that are looking for the rope, they also need to be articulate and speak out. I'm looking for the blue rope. What do I mean, the blue rope? These are opportunities, information, a lot of things that you need to know. You need to speak up because you don't know who has it. And this platform, this is platform where we can network, guys. We have so many engineers that have come on this platform that we can talk to. You never know where it can take us, that we can share about these ideas and just how we feel and our experiences. Thank you so much, Mukondwa, for taking us in that direction area where we are so passionate about. Thank you so much. So, what are some of your challenges that you faced as a girl in your career in STEM? Could you share with my viewers, a little bit more what you have faced as a STEM girl?
Well, to be honest with you, there's because there are like few women in STEM. Most of us, when we started this career, we were not prepared. Like we didn't know what we were getting ourselves into.
Tell me about it.
No one told us like
Yeah.
what it would be like. So some of the things you're just figuring it out on your own, and you're not even sure, is this supposed to be happening, or is it just happening to me? That kind of thing. So I
Yes.
think one mistake I made that I would advise other girls or even guys not
Yes.
to make early in your career is trying is being nice.
Yes.
What do I mean by being nice?
Mm-hmm.
There's this book I'm reading by Dr. Louis P. Franklin that's called "Nice Girls Still Don't Get the Corner Office." This is
Girl,
like the
I got that.
vision.
I'm getting that.
Yes. You should get it. It's about like the unconscious mistakes women make that sabotage their careers.
Wow. Tell us. Tell us.
So being nice means, sometimes we try to equate being humble to being shy and staying in your corner hoping that no one sees you and you're so unsure of yourself. So
Yes.
to be honest, if you are like that, no one is going to look at you and no one will
No.
take you seriously. So
Yes.
I think those are some of the mistakes and the challenges I made. Like I was kind of shy because in engineering there'll be like a gazillion males. For example, like in
Tell
my
me
class,
about it.
the civil engineering class, were only four girls in a class of 36. So, and the situation was actually worse when I started working.
Yes.
Like we were only few girls, and I think in the power station I was working, they weren't even female engineers. The only technical engineers, female engineers that were there were us, the graduate trainees. So
Wow.
we didn't even have big sisters that we could
Mhm.
go to or look up at. So
No.
that was just like a headache because no one was there who could show us the ropes. No one was there to tell me that be confident, believe in yourself. You are told
Yes.
to believe in yourself like 100 times, but when you are in
When
some
you face it.
situations, you just
Yes.
yes, you just need someone to tell you that, at some
Yes.
time. So I think uh I was a bit on the apologetic side, and bit on the shy side, saying,
Yes.
"Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know this," and trying not to speak too loud, being the silent
Yes.
church mouse. But as I grew older and as I got to realize that if you're shy and try to stick in a corner, no one is
Yes.
going to notice you and you won't be
No.
invited on the big table.
It's true.
So for
It's
you
true.
to get a seat at the top, you need to be
Mm-hmm.
confident.
Yes.
Confidence does not necessarily mean you know everything, but
Mm-hmm.
you're confident in those things that you get it. And
Yes.
when someone asks you what about this, do you know this, if you're confident, you tell them, no, I'm not really familiar with that, but I'm willing to read more into it, you see.
Yes.
So I think one takeaway I've had over the years is just be confident and be unapologetically you. If you are the silent type, no one is going to hear you. And if you want a seat at the top, you
Mm-hmm.
need to be confident and be true to who you are.
Wow, wow. Fiona, oh my God. You evoked very important points, and thank you for that, guys. So Fiona is telling us about confidence, guys. And what she was talking about, I actually it resonated with me because when
Mm-hmm.
you are just in your corner, you can't articulate well. You have to show that posture that you are confident in your work
Exactly.
because that's how you get pushed. You have to show that you know what you're talking about. Wow, that's really, really interesting. And thank you so much for that. Wow. And okay, so Fiona, I have another question. So me
Mm-hmm.
and you would say, okay, we are working right now. And
Mm-hmm.
what would you say to a girl in Zimbabwe out there that needs to pursue science and technology, to a girl here in Mississippi out there in the rural areas of United States? How can they pursue science and technology? Um, what do you think they should do for
I
young
think
girls, young boys? How can they venture into STEM?
Well, I think for the young ones who are passionate about knowing more about STEM,
Yes.
especially from from areas where information does not disseminate easily, is ask. You know, that's one thing I've learned in life. I remember one of my mentors told me that the silliest question is the one that you never ask.
Wow.
So
Yes. Yes.
do not think that, oh my gosh, this question sounds silly. There is nothing called a silly question, to be honest. The
No.
silliest question is the one that you never ask. So if you're interested in something, ask.
Hmm.
Even if just ask anyone around you.
Yeah.
Like, they might not know, but they might actually know someone who knows. That's how
Yes.
people network. I asked someone about, I don't know, maybe baking a cake. I want to bake a cake. I can ask my colleague, I'm thinking I'm trying of baking cakes. Do you know anyone who bakes? My colleague might not be baking cakes, but they might
Yes.
know someone who knows someone who knows someone who bakes cakes.
Yes.
So if you're passionate and you want to know about something, especially like, I think there are others who are privileged. You have, the internet. You just Google or ask Siri, what is civil engineering or whatever. But for
Yes.
some people who do not have access to that, you can start by asking at school. Like, ask your
Mm-hmm.
teachers.
Yes.
Teachers are probably people who have like huge educational networks. So you
Yes.
ask your teacher, I'm interested in engineering, or I'm interested in IT, I'm interested in artificial intelligence. Can you
Mm-hmm.
please hook me up with someone who knows? They might not personally know anything, but they will definitely know someone who knows someone who knows someone. So ask. Like the when I started working here in the UK,
Yes.
I think I was very fortunate because I found like I was integrated in a very, very amazing team.
Yes.
The first thing that I was told by my line manager was, if you have any question, ask. Even if you want to ask how to turn on the laptop, like, ask. So
Yes.
from that moment, I developed a culture to ask. Like, it's better to ask than not to ask and then stay stuck into something you don't know. So yeah, that's all I can say. And
Wow.
from asking, that's where you can network and expand your social or intellectual circle.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much, Fiona. And I always tell people that, especially in this era, of course, there are those people that don't have access to internet. Even now, places, some people don't have computers, they don't have internet. Yes.
Mhm.
So what Fiona said, I know we haven't been looking at that a lot on this platform because we think, oh, because of technology, everybody has. Yeah, teachers are equipped to have information. So those things that are coming, technology that's coming up, they may have that information. So the best thing is to be able to articulate, to talk to the teacher and ask. And when you talk about ask, Fiona, let me tell you a story. At
Mhm.
school, I always ask, especially even if it's a stupid question, I'm like, that stupid question, the other person, maybe he knows it and you won't even answer it. No, I'm going to ask the professor. So I used to, no, first the professor's like, oh, any questions, any question? Everybody's quiet. And I
Mhm.
see it's some kind of silly, but later on I realized it was not even silly. So I asked the professor, I'm like, oh, whatever that question was. So the professor starts explaining. Guess what happens to everybody in the class? They take their pen and they start writing. I'm
They
like,
start
hey,
writing.
no, that's my question.
That's my
Everybody, can you
question.
stop
That's my
writing? That's
answer.
mine. Yeah. So you
Yeah.
ask the question and everybody start writing. I'm like, so everybody was interested in this question and they didn't want to ask. And then afterwards, when we write, but because everybody wants to look like they know everything and they understand everything. Meanwhile, they don't. So girls, let me tell you something. When you have a question that you don't understand, don't think about anyone else if they know it, why they didn't tell you. So don't be blocked by that kind of thinking that they know it. You ask, just like Fiona said, even if it's how to turn on the computer. Even today, sometimes what is this? Microsoft email, things like that. It also has its own little things that you don't know. I still ask my fellow engineers, I'm like, I don't know how you're making this enlarge here big. Can you come and show me? I don't care what it is. I will ask. And I found that through asking, I've learned so much, and you don't have to be shy. And thank you so much, Fiona, for that question. I really, really do appreciate. So, Fiona, I'll give you time. Could you say something to either girls for STEM or boys out there or girls? I'll give you a few minutes to talk about or anything that you want to talk about on this channel. The floor is yours.
Okay, so I think one thing, well, this applies to everyone,
Yeah.
the girls and the boys who are interested in science, technology, engineering, and math. Like, challenge yourself to get out of your comfort zone because that's where you grow as a person, you grow as an individual, you grow as a professional. I was reading this article on LinkedIn the other day. That was this is for the girls in particular. It was
Yeah.
saying that during job applications, because women somehow we strive for perfection.
Yeah.
I think that's one huge weakness we have as girls. We want so much to be perfect because we think we need to prove a point that
Yeah.
I deserve to be here, so I want to give you a 10 out of 10. But
Yeah.
you don't have to do that to yourself. Like, do the best that you can. The best that you can is actually perfection. You
Yes.
don't have to tick all the 10 boxes. Okay, so back to the to the article I was reading. I have so
Yes.
many things to talk about, but one thing at a time. The article that I was reading was apparently during job applications, if there are like 10 attributes that the candidate needs to have, it was saying that men take more risks. Risks in the
Really?
sense that if a female finds that she doesn't have like three of the attributes out of the 10, she's
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't think I qualify for this job. And then she just does not apply. But apparently, for guys, if they tick two boxes out of 10, they'll be like, I'm applying this and I'll see what happens when the response comes. So
Yeah.
I actually thought it made sense because I was one of the people who are like, if I don't even tick one box, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't qualify for this job. That's because I'm wired in my brain that I'm supposed to be perfect.
Perfect.
That all goes back to the comfort zone I was telling you about. Like, imagine you have a job application and it says you tick most of the boxes, not even all, and
Yeah.
so one of the box requires you to know this particular software, let's
Yes.
say AutoCAD, for
Yes.
example, and you don't even know what AutoCAD is.
Yeah.
Just apply regardless. In the interview, when they ask you about AutoCAD, you'll be like,
Mm.
to be honest, I've never really worked with
Yes.
AutoCAD, but I am willing to try this out because I think it would be a really good tool in A, B, C, and D.
Yes.
That's how you get the job. You don't get the job because you qualify all the 10 attributes. It's
Mm-hmm.
those three attributes and your attitude that make you get the job. So that's what I realized, that you don't have to be perfect because truthfully speaking, no one is perfect. No one will tick all the 10 boxes, but it's about how confident you are in yourself and how you present and articulate yourself, as you were mentioning.
Wow. You know what? You just, I do the same. When I look at the job, qualification that they're asking for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I can only do 75%, the rest I can't. No, I can't apply. You know what, Fiona? Thank you for that. And it's true, men they take higher risks than us.
I think,
Be-
man, you just only have one attribute and you will be like, I'm going to
I'm
apply
going for
regardless,
it.
you know? Yeah.
Wow,
What happens,
guys.
happens. If I die, I die. So you should have that if I die mentality. You'll be shocked with the
And you know
results
what,
you get.
Fiona? Even those things that they write there, all those attributes that they're asking us if we know them,
Mm,
it's not that we can't do them.
mm,
It's
mm,
that we just haven't, we know they exist and we've seen them and it's something that we can do, but we haven't worked on. But we just want, we'll be like, no, I can't apply for this job because I'm not in that field. Meanwhile, it's something that you can switch easily. You have the capacity and you can still do it. But we still refrain ourselves from making that decision. Wow,
mm.
that's really great. Thank you so much, Fiona. Oh my God.
And the other thing, sorry,
Yes,
before I
yes,
forget,
yeah.
I think one of the most important things for the young ones who are interested in STEM, besides asking, is finding a mentor, to be honest.
Yes.
You need someone who's been there, who will tell you how to navigate. You know, there are some things, as I was mentioning, like we didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. And
Yes.
you're like, is this normal? Is this supposed to be happening? Or is it just me? You know, there are those difficult people that you'll be trying to I'm trying to explain to you, but that person doesn't just understand. And
Yes,
you're like,
yes.
what, is it something that's wrong with me?
With
But it's
me,
nothing wrong with you. It's something that's wrong with them. What
yes.
and how you handle with that is what
Mm-hmm.
makes or breaks you. Like if you get into the field knowing that you will definitely find people who are antagonistic for no reason in particular.
Yes.
People who just want to trash talk you, people who want to pull you
Mm-hmm.
down. But if you have that attitude, like, guys, I know my worth and I know what I'm capable of. So whatever you say, it doesn't affect me. So, if a young girl has someone who tells her that it's not going to be an easy road. It's
Mm-hmm.
not a walk in the park. You will meet different people. You will meet people with hard heads to crack,
Ah,
but it's not your fault. It's
yes.
on them if they do not appreciate your worth and what you
Mm-hmm.
bring to the team. So I think getting a mentor is really good, and it's something that can build up your self-confidence, because it's rewarding when someone tells you, wow, that's good work, keep it up. Even if
Mm-hmm.
you do the simplest of things, if someone reaffirms and reassures that you're in the right direction and you're doing good, it boosts your confidence.
Yes, yes. Wow. That's really, really true. And same with me. I stumbled when I was in school. Especially, you don't see anyone who looks like me. And also, the profession that I was entering into, manufacturing systems engineer, I had never seen anyone. I struggled. There were points where I was like, will I even make it? Will this make sense when I'm finished? That really haunted me. It really did. And that's why this platform, we want to make sure we can expose these women engineers who've been there. Look, she is in nuclear, she's in energy, she's in software, she's in space. So everywhere we can show these girls that anything is doable. And if you've never seen a role model, here are the role models here that we showcase. And thank you so much, Fiona, for that. And you are a real role model here. We really do appreciate, and would like to have you again to discuss more. There are very smart women that come here. You have so much energy. Would like to have you again with some other women so we can discuss. I'm trying to arrange one where we can come. A lot of women and just come and discuss some of these challenges and share with our viewers. I really do appreciate, guys. We've come to at the end of this show, and thank you so much, guys, for always coming. I really do appreciate. And guys, ciao ciao, see you next Saturday, guys, with interesting stuff. Thank you so much, guys.
Bye. Thank you for